Hey, everybody. Hope all is well. I wanted to share this with you guys, and it was kind of a little weird, a little different. So, you ever go to, there was this place, and I forget the name of it. You ever go to one of those places where you hear about it and it's like a down home place? Now, it's a little far from me. We're about a good, 45 minutes to an hour out from my location. But I've passed by it, going to visit, what have you. And it's like it's always crowded. And you're like, man, that restaurant, it's a nice size. It's always crowded. And they're like, oh, yeah. The people I know, they're like, yeah, it's nice. It's kind of like a down home country setting. But it's really good food and it's really cheap. So I'm like, wow, it's always crowded. Maybe that is the reason why. So I'm like, yeah, meaning to check it out. So then a little time passes, and then it's like, hey, you know what? Let's get a quick bite to eat. Let's go and check the place out. Go check it out. Got the country vibe going on. But wow, that food was like so delicious. I mean, seasoned like eating at your grandmother's. It was really delicious. And the prices, I'm like, wow, these prices are like yesteryear. Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, man, the steak was on point. It was so good. Besides having a to-go box, and you get a whole lot. Besides having a to-go box, I'm like, man, look here, I'm gonna try this. I'll get one to go. You understand? Because again, it's a nice little, you know, it's a nice drive. Okay, to get there. So hey, why not? So it turns out after that visit, I have been there a couple of times, and it's really good. It's not good for my diet, but the food is good. Okay, you only live once. So um eating there was a table, a lot of older people, and I'm going to give the ages 60 to mid to late 70s. So you got a little group of women there, Caucasian women, MeeMaw, and they've got their little food and got those little, got the little MeeMaw floral outfits on. Oh, they out for the day. Okay, MeeMaw. So as it was, you know how you get ready to leave, and so still at the table, I kind of heard the conversation, and the point that made me kind of listen in more so is when I heard the name George Floyd. So, Meemaw and the little crew, which is their right, they were discussing George Floyd, not what happened, but about the money. And here's the one that looks like to be the oldest of the group, but she was on the corner. So, I've got a pretty good range, and I can hear her, and I'm like, let me kind of tune in. Yeah, I was ear hustling. So Mima she says to her other, golden girls, she goes, yeah, if he would have survived that, let me tell you, and got that money, he wouldn't have given any of his family that money. He wouldn't have used that money to take care of his family. I know he wouldn't. And I'm listening. And they were talking about, I said, oh, they got the facts down because, yeah, besides the settlement, there were also, there was a GoFundMe for his daughter. And so it was like, wow, crazy money. I remember seeing it myself. It was like, wow, like tens of millions of dollars. It was a crazy amount. So you add it up and you're like, okay, this with the city, you know, um, then you got this with the GoFundMe's. So yeah, and heck, from what I could see, there was more than one GoFundMe. So I remember seeing the one for his daughter, which was like, wow, super. And I saw one video of them saying that he had a son. I saw it like one time, and then that was it. I can't find it for the life of me. And as I understand, they were saying, yeah, his son was it was the guys are like a teenager. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting because on TV, I'm only seeing his daughter, you know. So yeah, anyway, so Mima's talking about the money. And when she said that, she's like, yeah, if he would have survived, he wouldn't have used any of that money to take care of his family. And I thought, well, that's kind of, huh, all that money. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. And I thought, we're all entitled to our opinion, as is Meemaw. Meemaw is entitled to an opinion. And it made me think. As I've said several times, in America, in this country, in the world, there really aren't many secrets. Everybody knows how other people operate. hmm Oh, and then one person made a comment. So you think about it, when you look at so many black women left holding the bag, everybody knows in the black community, the black woman is the strong one because she has to be. Are there some black men they take care of their kid? Hell yeah. Do the majority? Hell no, because you wouldn't have so many. I mean, look around, look on the news. You wouldn't have so much poverty. The kid gets in trouble. The kid gets shot. The kid get got. The kid gets in a war, plays professional sports. Definitely see that mom around. You may see a father every now and then, but honey, odds are against it. So it made me think, you look at how people, especially some of the brothers, want to come up against the black women, complaining. You're talking bad about the black women, and for the Dusties, regardless of you're educated or not, everybody knows that's who's the number one bag holder. I don't mean being a bag holder in the stock market. Right now, I'm in a bag holder. My gosh, with Virgin Galactic, what is going on here? But that's okay. I'm along, and so I'm strong. I'm along. I'm going to hold on. So it made me think, when you hear about in the community all the going back and forth and dissing black women, everybody knows. So even MeeMaw, that's her opinion. She's like, he wouldn't have taken care of his family. Oh, no, she's so sure she knows that. And where's the narrative? The narrative comes by what we see. The narrative comes by what is. Look on TV. Look at the numbers. Look at the stacks. So as I say, there are no secrets. And then some of us want to pretend like, I know there's some black men want to pretend like, oh, the black one is a problem, and I said, no, you're not. Most people think you're full of shit. And that may not be the case. I have young black men in my family, and they're not it. But because of the dustiness, the low performing men that permeates the group and the behavior, the violence, automatically, that's what's assumed. You're assumed to be, if you're a decent black man, average dusty, people looking at you think they're smiling and probably want to have you pay your child support. Honestly and truly. So that was her assessment. Out of all the things to say about the money, he would not take care of his family. And I thought about it. Them sitting there, besides Social Security, what you want to bet? Don't think MeeMaw sitting up there struggling. More than likely, Paw Paw done left her with a life insurance policy, a brokerage account, a house that's paid for. Mm-hmm. They're not probably sitting up there suffering. No. So what does it say about our community? Look at the sports guys making millions of dollars in the book. Terrell Owens, how the hell you make $80 million? And everybody that works under you, the management and everyone else, they all made out like a bag. I'm sure Becky did. They all made out like a bag, and you sitting up here homeless. Are you kidding me? Sitting up here, don't have any money. Number one stunner, number one dummy. So all that we see on YouTube, on the news, and in the community, everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Then last, I'm going to say, one of them made another comment that I thought, no, she didn't. So at this point, I'm at my table and I'm like totally checked out now. Then one of them says something I thought, oh, really? So she said, and this is MeeMaw. Gee, thanks, MeeMaw. She said, man, I tell you, and I'm assuming she was talking about the black community, because she said, I tell you, I'm sure if some of these grandparents that's got stuck with these kids, especially the ones that's always getting in trouble, I'm sure some of these grandparents probably looking at that kid and hoping he goes out and get into trouble with the police. That way they can get paid. Wow. And the other one kind of like, snigger or kind of laugh a little bit. Do you hear what she's saying? She's saying that hoping they're probably looking at one of the kids that, and of course it'll be the male child, but she said she's got stuck with one of these grandparents. They're probably looking at him and hoping he goes out there, gets in trouble with the police, and hoping something happens. Well, what could that something happen? Become a hashtag. That's what she said, the other one. Hoping that they can get paid. That way they can get their money and not be bothered with them. And the other one kind of laugh a little bit, kind of snicker. Gee, what does it sound like? Sound like she probably knows what's going on. And I think that's kind of a mean comment to say. But let's be human. I thought about it. That would be a horrible thing But is it possible? You really think someone's got some young African American kid that's been dropped off on a grandparent and they can't handle him? He's out of control. That they're really hoping that he goes out there and gets in trouble with the cops so he can get popped and they can get a bag? That would be very sad. But it lets you know, look at the bigger picture. I said it's no secret. Everybody knows everybody business. Everybody knows everybody business. Everybody knows what's going on in the community, and we want to act like we have some secrets and then go out and put up a front like everything is fine and great. Bruh, sister girl, you late. Everybody knows. Everybody knows each role, what the role the women play, the role the men play. There are no secrets. So think about that. She's saying she feels sorry for some of these grandparents. They're probably tired of these kids and hoping that one of them will go out there in society and get in trouble. So that sounds like to me, you mean you referring to the person becoming a hashtag. Get in trouble with the cops so they can get some money. That's what MeeMaw said. So that right there, I want to know what you guys thinking. Again, yes, I was ear hustling. I truly was. I found those statements very, very interesting to say the least. But yeah, what goes on in our community? MeeMaw know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So black women, you being stuck with the bag. Sometimes I know we're not appreciated in our community. Everybody knows who's holding it down. Everybody, every other groups. So I want to know what you guys think about the video, about the comments that were said. I will say I was taken aback, but I want to know what you guys think. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Stay safe. And again, tell me what you think. I'm out.